Hello everybody, this is Dr.ARUNA Krithika, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application. I am here to talk about the domain software engineering, and the topic that has been chosen from this domain is requirements engineering task. So we'll understand what requirements engineering is and the different steps involved in requirements engineering. Okay, the requirements engineering is a broad domain that focuses on being the connector between modeling, analysis, design, and construction. So for the development of a complete software, the first and foremost thing that has to be done is deciding about the requirements that is needed for the development of that particular software, the tools that are being used, the methods that are going to be followed to produce that particular software. So these things will be under discussion in what is called requirements engineering task. Now, then it is the most important part every business must follow in order to build and release a project successfully, as this is only the foundation key of planning and implementation of a process, okay, of a software process. Now, here is a pictorial representation of the different steps that is involved in requirements engineering process. Now, the steps that are involved in this requirement engineering task, there are 7 different steps which we are going to elaborately look into. So the steps are inception, elicitation, elaboration, negotiation, specification, validation, and requirements management. So we will see in depth what are these 7 different steps. And the first one is inception. So this is the phase where we are going to give an outline of our project. Okay, whatever we are going to look into, the basic understanding of the problem will be addressed in this particular step called inception. So what will we conclude during this step is we will be trying to understand what is the problem that we have taken, who are the customers or the clients who need the solution for the particular problem, what is the nature of the solution, and communication and collaboration between that is to be established between customer and the developer. So all these are points that will be discussed or drawn in the step called inception. Now we'll move on to the next step. Second step is called elicitation. So elicitation, in this step we will be discussing on 3 different issues. It is scope of the problem. So what's the problem that we have taken and what is the scope of it? Okay, that will be considered. Where are we going to implement? What are the areas where we need not implement that particular software? All these scope of that particular software will be considered. The next one is understanding of the problem. So what is that actual problem? Who needs a solution for the problem? All these will be understood in depth in this second process called elicitation. And third one is problem of volatility. So at the time of discussion of creation of the project and that at the time of completion of the project, this in between time, we will have to meet loss and wastage of resources and time. So that particular loss amount of quantity of amount or quantity of resources that will be losing, all these items will be talking or will be drawn to a conclusion in this particular step called elicitation. We move on to the third step. Third step is called elaboration. So elaboration is a process where we will be talking in depth about the first 2 steps, or what we have concluded in the first 2 steps will be taken into depth discussion in what is called elaboration phase. Then the fourth one is negotiation. So negotiation between a customer and the developer will be done and a satisfactory result will be derived in this particular phase of the requirements engineering task. And what we will be negotiating, the terms and conditions that will be negotiation under the head, that is availability of resources, delivery time, when will we deliver the software to the customer, then scope of requirements, project cost, and estimation on development. All these will be negotiated in the negotiation step of the requirements engineering task. Then the fifth one is the specification. So specification is the fifth step, where after we have negotiated of what is going to be done, so written manual for all the software data will be given here. So what we are going to develop, the time we are going to take for the development, the models that we are going to set, the use cases that we have collected, and a prototype of the actual software model that is to be produced, all will be written manually in this particular step called specification. Then we move on to the sixth step. So whatever we have specified in the specification module will be taken into validation, and the validation requirement engineering task will involve requirements review. So far what we have decided, we will restructure it, we will review it to see whether those are needed, or if those are not needed, we will inspect deeply into the requirements of those. Then prototyping, we'll go for prototyping of the actual software process. We will try to test case generation. Okay, then excuse me, we will do this automated consistency analysis. Okay, these will be done in the step called validation. Then the seventh step is requirements management. So we'll see what we can do in this particular step. So requirements management is a set of activity where the entire team will take part in identifying, controlling, tracking, and establishing the requirements for the successful and smooth implementation of the project. Okay, this requirements, new requirements will emerge during this process. So what all we have not discussed earlier will come into focus, and we will be trying to prioritize what is the actual need for the development of the process. So that will be efficiently done in what is called requirements management phase. And a working model will be analyzed and carefully read and kept ready to the delivery to the customer once we have completed this requirements management task. So these are the 5 different steps under what is called requirements engineering task. Hope this video would have been helpful to the viewers. Thank you.